is just about to kick off. We give our players an extra minute or two here to take a bathroom break before we get into it. But some of the other major matchups to look out for, Tribe Gaming still undefeated, NYSL, they have their work cut out for them. We will keep you updated with all of the action, so don't go anywhere. For now, though, enough from me. Let's set it over. We got Alley Cat and I Hold Shift to kick this one off.
Well, I'll say this much. This heat right here very well may be the most important. Okay, we've got a couple teams at 2-0. Sure, they're sitting pretty. They've got a little bit of a cushion, mostly because we've got 8 squads that are sitting at 1-1. These are obviously, you find yourself in a 1-on-1 versus a 1-on-1 matchup, those are important. But I'd say most importantly, the teams at the bottom, the 2 squads at 0-2, they must win here in Heat 3 if they want to have a chance to get out of the top 2 in their group.
No, I absolutely agree with you. At the very bottom, they have to win out here right now is their chance to do it. And we're going to hop right into gameplay. Xplicit versus Full House. Xplicit, again, is 2-0 thus far in pools. Let's see if Full House will be the ones to take them down.
Yeah, Full House, again, one of those squads needing a win. And I'll say this much, for Full House, sure, they're 0-2, but each of the series that they've played so far have been immensely competitive. So it's not that they're sitting necessarily down and out, but very well could be if they don't find a way to get through the very strong Xplicit squad here. As we get the standoff hard point, P1 opening up in favor of our team in blue. Xplicit reaping the reward of the majority of this first 30 seconds, getting 22 of the first 30 to be specific.
I mean, already right off the bat, the Vibe squad of Xplicit is in complete control of this P1, and we haven't had too much conversation about who we think probably the best players thus far in our Western Finals regions is, and I want to argue in the conversation Solo already after our 2 heats. I mean, just been lights out player. He has been the deciding factor, I feel like, for this Xplicit team, as he has always been the one fighting in first, always the one being aggressive, getting that opening 1 or 2 kills. And again, the other S's on the team, Solar and Snipes, have been following him up every time.
Well, so far, the entire squad looking very dominant. 40 of the first minute coming by way of the first hard point. Unbelievable when it comes to overall score efficiency. And Full House Gaming, well, they're getting a little bit of a secondary play coming out. I was about to say for a moment there, you had Trix, who was trying to work around the very backside, maybe open up a bit of a flank, but it gets denied as Xplicit sniff it out and now turn their attention over towards gas station, which is where the next and maybe even one of the last hits that Full House can put together. They get on in, and Trixon, he's able to get himself a double. That will open up the hard point and, for the most part, flip the spawns around. Full House looking to recover here in the second hill.
Really, really big break out of Full House here. Should they get this final 30 seconds, they're only looking at about a 10-second deficit, but it looks like Xplicit has actually decided to completely give up this entire scrap time and set up for new across the map. I honestly love this play call out of them. Not only that, they've left Lucifer in mid to try and get a couple picks off rotation. He already finds one, finds the second as well. He will finally get traded out, but this initial should be in the hands of Xplicit.
This is one of those things, though, for anyone who may be a little bit fresher to watching COD Mobile. You can put the salt in the wound very quickly if you start off with a dominant heads-up opening hard point and a half. Veteran has already got a Goliath. So it's 54-40, and you're thinking, man, not bad here. Full House is in it, but with a Goliath in the mix, this next 60 seconds at Grandma's house is not going to be looking all too friendly, especially considering you got to get up the stairs, and then you've got to deal with the Goliath. It's not a pretty picture to paint, that much is for sure, and Veteran is just going to be pretty much indomitable from this position.
I'm clenching my teeth here for just a moment, as unfortunately 2 players from Xplicit pushed up a little too far, and they lost spawns for just a second. I thought Insulin was about to make a play, but thankfully they regained, they have that Goliath in hill, and are locking down this time. Now already a 40-point deficit, 85-40. Xplicit is playing lights out. Full House is doing all they can to try and contest this hill, but there is only so much you can do when there's a mecha monster sitting in the middle of it.
Veteran is low. And okay, 15 seconds of scrap time, considering a Goliath is actually not a terrible situation, but you turn your attention to the very bottom middle of the minimap. Turret already set up for Xplicit on new, so more obstacles to hurdle here if you're Trixon in Full House Gaming fashion. Trixon mook their way in and find very limited to almost nothing whatsoever. Xplicit, just their efficiency across the map and respawn is just flawless so far, and with this hard point opening up, it'll be pretty much all Xplicit members in and around the hard point.
I can't see Xplicit dropping a hard point, seeing their rotations on this map alone. They've consistently given up that scrap time the last 20 seconds to make sure they get spawns to rotate across the map for new, which is something I feel like we haven't seen from many teams thus far. So Full House is struggling to get that break in, because once they do, maybe get 20 seconds near the end, but they've already broken the 100-point mark. 115-57, 30 seconds left in this hill. Death Machine gets called on the likes of Veteran, but unfortunately it is just not enough. as they're trying to get this last 30 seconds of Hill.
Yeah, it's Xplicit. This is their 5th hardpoint played, and it looks like it's going to be their 5th hardpoint won. They have been unbelievable in and around a multitude of different maps. It hasn't just been standoff. They've played almost every single map in the pool so far, and they found themselves pretty confident and comfortable wins. This one looks like it's going to be no different. Last-ditch effort here for Full House. They committed Death Machine just for the scrap time, which is never something you want to do, but in this instance, it's something you have to do. And as we turn our attention back over to the middle of the map, as the first hardpoint will come to play in front of Brown, Solar's got a Death Machine of his own, looking just to use this as the one tool needed to put this game out of reach. But Fashion, couple of eliminations, maybe a chance to extend this map a little bit further, and the equalizer shut down. So, hey, okay, maybe there is a chance here for Full House to extend this to another map, or pardon me, another hardpoint. Just comes down to can they clean up the rest of the Xplicit pieces with only having 10 seconds between them and a win.
I'd say 10 seconds was a little too late for Full House to start shooting back. 5 is all they need to go up in this map. Series 1-0 already, 148. It should happen here. 150 to 68. Xplicit take the series up 1-0. I'm a little worried for Full House in this sense, but as we hop right on over